Good day, folks, and welcome to Mr. Creepy Skeleton Stories. Today we're going to tell you a compilation of stories about a supposed to be an adventurous camping, but went on a horrific and scary experience. Get ready to get scared and experience a story full of creepiness. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
The Haunted Forest Camping Trip. Deep within the woods, a group of adventurous adults embarked on a camping tour to a notoriously haunted area. Excitement filled the air as the group pitched their tents under the dimly lit moon. Little did they know, this night would be like no other. As they settled around the campfire, Billy, the joker of the group, began to make fun of the haunted history of the forest. Everyone laughed nervously, trying to drown out the eerie atmosphere surrounding them. Billy wouldn't stop. He continued with one ghost joke after another, pushing the boundaries of their fears. But as the night grew darker and the fire began to flicker, a sudden silence fell upon the group. The wind whispered through the trees, causing goosebumps to rise on their skin. They could sense something was amiss. In the midst of the chilling silence, a chilling breeze whispered through the leaves, carrying with it an otherworldly presence. The group turned to look at Billy, expecting another one of his prankster acts, but this time, his face was etched with genuine horror. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced through the night. The group's joy turned into sheer terror as they realized Billy's jokes had awakened a real evil in the forest. Their hearts raced as they scrambled to their feet, desperately searching for a way to escape the encroaching darkness. But no matter which direction they turned, the forest seemed to move against them. Shadows danced menacingly, and whispers of long-dead spirits echoed through the trees. Fear took hold of their every breath, paralyzing them with dread. In a frantic attempt to escape, they stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin hidden in the depths of the forest. With nothing to lose, they sought refuge inside, hoping to find safety within its decaying walls. However, they soon discovered they were not alone. The haunting whispers grew louder as the cabin's wooden floors creaked beneath their feet. The air thickened with an unsettling presence, and the group felt an invisible force pushing them further into the heart of darkness. As they reached the cabin's attic, they discovered a spine-chilling scene. In the flickering candlelight, they saw a ghostly figure, their transparent eyes fixed upon them. The group froze, trapped in a nightmarish tableau. Fear coursed through their veins as the ghostly figure beckoned them nearer, its voice a haunting melody. The group knew they had no other choice but to comply, their fate sealed by their own jests. With trembling steps, they approached the ghostly figure, bracing themselves for the unknown. As they drew closer, they realized the true horror of their situation. They had unleashed a vengeful spirit, angered by their mockery. The ghostly figure lunged at them, seething with rage and torment. It was an onslaught of terror as the group fought desperately to escape its clutches. Their screams of horror merged with the unholy wails of the forest, blending into a symphony of their impending doom. The night seemed to stretch on endlessly, as the group fought for their lives against the malevolent spirit. Each step was a battle between life and death, as they navigated the treacherous forest, seeking a way to break free from its relentless grip. In a final act of courage, they stumbled upon an ancient ritual ground hidden deep within the forest. With no other option left, they chanted an ancient incantation, desperate to banish the spirit that had haunted them. As the last word left their trembling lips, a blinding light enveloped the forest. The spirit let out a mournful cry before dissolving into the air, leaving behind only a lingering silence. The weight of the forest's haunted past began to lift, replaced by an eerie tranquility. Exhausted and shaken, the group emerged from the forest, forever changed by their encounter with the supernatural. They had learned a valuable lesson, to respect the power of the unknown and never to joke about the terrors that lurk in the shadows. The Forbidden Campsite. Once upon a moonlit night, a newlywed couple named Jack and Emily found themselves yearning for an adventure that would test the boundaries of their love. Their thirst for excitement led them to the hidden depths of a restricted area within a desolate camping site. Unbeknownst to them, their decision to enter this forbidden territory would unleash a series of horrifying events that would scar them for life. As they ventured further into the forbidden campsite, the atmosphere grew eerily silent. The air became thick with an unexplainable sense of dread. Still, Jack and Emily, fueled by their adrenaline, pressed on. The flickering shadows danced around them, casting sinister shapes upon the trees. They brushed off their growing unease and carried on, eager to explore the mysteries that lay ahead. Little did they know, the forest held secrets far more terrifying than they could have ever fathomed. Suddenly, a bone-chilling wind whispered through the trees, sending shivers down their spines. Jack's heart pounded against his chest as Emily clung tightly to his arm, seeking solace in his touch. Their footsteps grew hesitant, but curiosity propelled them forward, deeper into the twisted unknown. As they reached a clearing, the moonlight revealed a ghastly sight. Ancient symbols were etched onto the ground, emanating an otherworldly energy. Fear tugged at their hearts, each step becoming more trepidatious. The couple's breath quickened, misting the air with their growing terror. Without warning, a piercing howl echoed through the night, chilling their very souls. Jack and Emily spun around in terror, their eyes searching for the source of the unearthly sound. Shadows danced ominously, concealing whatever malevolent presence lurked beneath. A dense fog crawled across the forest floor, obscuring their vision. Panic consumed them as they realized they were no longer alone. Whispers echoed in their ears, taunting and tormenting. Suddenly, twisted figures appeared with glowing, malevolent eyes, their grotesque forms emerging from the mist. Jack and Emily's every instinct urged them to flee, but it was too late. They found themselves ensnared within a web of supernatural malevolence. The creatures clawed at their sanity, stripping away their sense of reality. Desperation engulfed them as they fought for their very lives. In the depths of their terror, a revelation emerged. The forbidden campsite was not merely a place of horror, but a gateway into a realm where nightmares were born. Their decision to explore the restricted area had unwittingly set loose the ancient, vengeful spirits who had been trapped within its boundaries. With every moment that passed, the spirits grew stronger, feeding off the couple's fear. Jack and Emily mustered every ounce of courage they had left and devised a plan. They would confront the spirits head-on, armed with the strength of their love for one another. Through a harrowing battle, Jack and Emily fought against the forces of darkness. Their determination and unity challenged the very foundation of the spirit's power. In a final climactic battle, the couple emerged victorious, banishing the malevolent entities back into the shadows from whence they came. Exhausted and battered, Jack and Emily emerged from the forbidden campsite, forever changed by their nightmarish ordeal. They had survived the unimaginable, their bond stronger than ever. The experience tested their limits, exposing the depths of their resilience and love. Word of their harrowing adventure spread throughout the town, captivating the minds of those brave enough to listen. The forbidden campsite remained a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurked beyond the realms of human comprehension. Jack and Emily's tale stood as a testament to the power of love and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Best friends, Cindy and Marissa had been best friends for years, and they decided to spend some time together by going camping. It seemed like the perfect plan, as they wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city for a few days. When they arrived at the campsite, everything seemed peaceful and beautiful. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and they were ready to start their adventure. But, little did they know, their happy adventure was about to take a turn for the worst. They began to hear strange noises coming from the surrounding woods. At first, they tried to shrug it off as the sound of wildlife, but as the sounds grew louder and louder, Cindy and Marissa were starting to get a bit scared. The next morning, they decided to go exploring deeper into the woods to see what was making the strange noises. As they got further in, they started to feel a sense of dread overtake them. They kept walking, despite the fear that was slowly enveloping them. Eventually, they came across a small clearing in the woods. Staring at them from the middle of the clearing was a large, sinister-looking figure. It was about 7 feet tall and wearing a long, black robe. Its face was hidden in shadow, and neither of them could make out any features. The figure just stood there, silently watching them. Cindy and Marissa were too scared to move. After what felt like an eternity, the figure began to move towards them, slowly and ominously. Cindy and Marissa ran back to their camp, trying their best not to look back at the mysterious figure. But the figure seemed to be following them, getting closer and closer. By the time they finally made it back to the campsite, both girls were shaking with fear. They quickly packed up their belongings and fled the campsite. All the while, the figure seemed to be watching them from the shadows. They drove away, not wanting to chance another encounter with the mysterious figure. That camping trip had been a nightmare of their life, one that neither of them would ever forget.